Alright, hey everybody, welcome to this video I wanted to film for you all on how I actually go about booking multi-four-figure coaching students using my personal brand. And literally all I have to do is sit on a Zoom call with these guys once a week, sometimes twice, very rarely more than that, and then answer some questions over text to keep them moving, right? This is some free personal branding training with me, Trey Cockrum. I'm going to show you how I do this, how I was actually able to make over $5,000 my first month in personal branding by selling a course in the actually the wedding photography niche. And I just want to talk to you guys about this today. So this is how to land your first four-figure coaching student with your personal brand. Very, very powerful video. Recommend you go full screen. Recommend you get a pen and a notepad out because this is some really valuable stuff. And this is actually all stuff that I would typically charge lots of money for. This is stuff that I teach my coaching students or people who actually work with me, right? So I'm going to try and fit as much as I possibly can into this short YouTube video. There's not a whole lot of time here. As you can see, the video is quite short. I don't suspect this will go any more than maybe half an hour. And if it does, I did something wrong and I rambled and got off track. But yeah, I'm just going to try and fit as much as I possibly can into this short YouTube video for you guys because I want you to understand the process that I go through when I select students, how I actually maintain the relationship, all that good stuff. So most people try and book their first coaching student for only $100 to $200, right? This is where most people go. They assume that coaching is, a low-paying thing. They assume just because the word coach it sounds like a low-paying thing. It doesn't sound like something that you can make a lot of money doing. It seems like, I'll have skeptics, I'll have people in the comments, guaranteed, once this video goes live and I promote it and I get it rocking, like, people are going to comment and they're going to say, Trey, there's no way you make, a bunch of money with coaching students. Well, I'm here to show you the formula I've used to book tons of coaching students at much, much higher rates. Let me show you, first of all, this is a payment that I got from one of my students for $1,500, and he's actually locked in at that price every single month for the next 5 months. So $1,500 for the next 5 months was at $15,000, $3,000, $4,500, that's $7,500 guaranteed income for me this year, right? Next, also you can see this is a month where I had a nearly six-figure income just from coaching. You can see it was a 4-week period there, and I did $7,300 in coaching sales. You can see that was October 23rd, which wasn't that long ago. I actually booked another coaching student for $1,200, right? And so coaching students just line up and they just fly in when you know what to teach and you know how to help them. This is another great day that I had coaching. $2,200 in a single day. That was 2 separate students coming into my program, my coaching program, to help people build their personal brands. Incredible results that I'm beginning to see just using these tactics that I want to teach you guys in this video. It's all there. It's all easy. None of this is hard. None of it's complicated. Don't feel like this is something you can't do. To be honest with you, I suffer from imposter syndrome like crazy. I feel like a little kid. I don't feel worthy of getting paid $2,200 in a single day. It doesn't make any sense for me sometimes that I'm making that sort of money. But understand that if you position your brand right, you can book clients all day, every single day. It's a matter of knowing how, though. So what we're going to cover in this video. First of all, the duplicatable and working sales process that I go through when I try and land a paying student for my coaching program, and I land most of them because they typically reach out to me, which is just how a personal brand works, right? It's, you begin to build systems like that. So it's duplicatable and working sales process that I go through. Next is how to quickly become an expert in any niche, streamlining the process of building your brand and having students paying you within a few weeks. So one of my students actually was able to take some of the methods that I'll teach you in this short video. One of my students who has a personal brand, I've coached him on setting up his coaching business, which sounds like almost like a paradox, but it's true. I make a lot of money doing it, and it's a lot of fun for me, and I feel like it's a great way to help people. He's been able to raise his coaching price from $600 to now he's at, I think, $2,000 per student, right? Which is just absolutely insane. And that's because he positioned himself as the expert by leveraging key parts of his brand. Next is how to be an amazing coach for all students and actually drive results instead of just selling your time over Zoom and blindly hoping that clients are happy, which is what a lot of coaches do. They just kind of hope, right? And that's not what I do. I set up my coaching so that the only reason that a student would fail is because they've chosen to, is because they haven't followed the material that I've given them, because I've proven this process out and I know how it works and I get it and I can teach it time and time and time again to tons and tons of people. So I've crafted the exact science behind booking coaching students, maintaining the relationship, and scaling the business model to the six-figure range. It's not hard to do. I've helped a lot of people doing it. I have agency clients and then coaching clients that I'm helping do this. One of my agency clients this month, in November of 2018, is on track. I think 2 months ago she was doing like 5,000 to like 8,000 a month with her brand. She's got like 150,000 YouTube subscribers, right? I didn't help her build that audience, but I'm helping her monetize the audience she has now well, right? And so now I'm helping her build out her sales funnels better, build out her marketing better, and she's coming out with a course. And this month in November, we're on track to see, and we're about 7 days into November, we're just looking, we're following the numbers out. We're on track to do $50,000 in course sales for her this month. It is absolutely insane, and anybody can do it. Any large business can sell a course. Any personal brand can sell a course. I believe courses are an incredible way to make money online, as long as you understand, and not just make money online, but impact people, as long as you understand how to sell them properly and how to actually build the systems out for them. Build a webinar funnel, right? Which webinars are one of my key things that I understand that help people sell courses at scale. If you understand coaching, you can sell coaching. If you like teaching people things, is such a great way to make money. And I've crafted the exact science behind booking coaching students, maintaining the relationship, and scaling the business model to the six-figure range. So a lot of people think that they can't take on any more than 3 or 4 coaching students. I've proven that wrong. I personally at any time have anywhere from 6 to 9 coaching students going at one time, and I can maintain those relationships. I'm going to show you how. So you have been misled. Let me just be very honest with you. You've been like woefully misled. You look at this YouTube channel. Of course, right now, as I'm uploading this YouTube video, I have about 300 subscribers on this YouTube channel. Very, very, very tiny channel. Of course, that is because I've migrated from a previous YouTube channel that ended up getting demonetized, and a collection of other reasons made me want to move from it. I had 11,000 subscribers on there. Now I'm here, and I just want to show you, you can have a channel this small and still make money, right? Personal branding experts have it all wrong. Here's what I mean. Size doesn't matter. The size of your audience doesn't matter. What do I mean by size doesn't matter? Well, the size of your following means very little when you're booking students, selling online courses, etc., right? Now, of course, it helps to have a large audience, but I'll get to that in a second. So many personal branding experts teach that in order to build your brand, you must also build the size of your audience, and this is inherently wrong and stunts so many people from making the money that they deserve, because they have the tools, they have the resources, they have the knowledge, they have the experience, they have the expertise in a niche, and they could be selling it, but they feel like they're stuck because they feel like they have to have a big audience before they can even begin. Yes, having a large following helps. It's more leads to tap into, right? But I'm about optimizing a small following, not trying to make it huge and blindly hoping I get conversions. Now, this is stepping away from the presentation real quick. I just want to say, for an example, right? For example, I was able to book a coaching student that was ultimately worth, I think, about $10,000 for me just because of the months that they worked with me, just by posting into Facebook groups. That's it. I posted into 3 or 4 Facebook groups. I was in these free Facebook mastermind groups, and I just brought value. I taught people stuff. I was active in the community, and ended up getting on the phone with one of the people from the community and booking them on coaching for like, I think $1,500, or I think it was like $2,000 a month or something like that. And like, that just goes to show you anybody can do that, right? So you don't need an audience. You don't need a YouTube following. Though having a YouTube following helps you. It builds that momentum. You don't need it. And, people have so many misconceptions about personal branding, especially information product sales. They see big names doing this, but the reality is you don't have to have a big name to make a lot of money, right? Like, I had 4,000 subscribers on the channel that I released the wedding photography course on, and that wedding photography course made over $7,000, I think. I'd have to check that. I think it's anywhere from $5,000 to $7,000 its first month of being released, right? That's with 3,000 subscribers and like 23, 24 videos in the wedding photography niche. It's crazy how much impact you can have, how quickly you can build authority but don't think that you need to have a large audience, like 100,000 YouTube subscribers. You don't even need 10,000. You don't even need like 1,000, to be honest with you. You just need to have quality content in a specific niche that drives leads down the pipeline, right? So let's move forward. So here's how easy it is to sell coaching. I just want to break down my process of selling coaching for you guys. So if you're in a good, this is a lot of text, I apologize. If you're in a good niche and have information that is valuable, selling coaching is so easy that it's almost stupid. The only thing stopping you from selling coaching is that you're not currently offering it. Make it known that you take in students, have content that proves your authority and value, and then students will flock in. Whenever anyone sees anyone getting success, they want to know how to do it as well. So this is the catch. You must first be having success. But then after that, it becomes dead easy to sell coaching. So a lot of people try to get into the coaching thing before they've even seen success themselves. And I want to warn you, if you're one of those people, you will eat it. That will bite you in the butt. I did that with my journey back in the day. I wasn't fully honest about my results, and I tried to just hype people up into my programs, right? Now I'm very transparent about my results, right? I showed you just now real screenshots, and whenever anybody asks me, I will show them proof of what I'm doing, and everything's there. It's open as much as I possibly can be. I am open, right? But I wasn't always that way, and I thought that was just the way to go. But it's not. You have to first see success and then sell the information as like an extra stream of revenue, right? So build a good business first, and or be an expert in whatever arena you're in. Maybe you're not in the business niche, right? Like a lot of my students are. They're in like e-commerce, or they're in like chatbots or whatever. Those are my students. But not everybody is in business. So if you're like in the fitness niche, you can't be obese and also a fitness teacher. You just can't be. And I apologize, it's very politically incorrect, but it's just true. You cannot be fat and a fitness teacher. Just like you can't be broke and a business teacher. Just like you can't, like it just makes sense, right? If you're teaching people how to do a backflip, you can't be really good at doing front flips but suck at doing backflips and then try to teach people how to do a backflip. Like you can't fake it. You can't. You have to first see success. But once you have authority in the niche, which is that success and that content out there, all you have to do is get people on your calendar for short 15-minute test sessions to then book them for coaching long term. And this is a great thing too. In my Impact Income program, I even have a 13-part script that people can follow that lays out how to book these calls all freaking day, right? So and I'll give you a basic of the script on this video. So essentially what you want to do when you're on that 15-minute phone call, what you want to do is you start with small talk. You say, hey, how are you? How's your day? Where are you calling from? Blah, blah, blah. And you find rapport. So the next step is to find rapport. Find something in common. If they're married, you're married, you joke about the wife, right? Or something like that. You find common ground before anything else. Find common ground. Then you identify the problem through key questions. And there's a list of key questions in the 13-part script, but you ask things like, why are you on this phone call with me? What do you need from me? How can I help? Where are you at now? Where would you like to be? What's stopping you from getting there? Questions like that where you begin to define their problem. And then you strategically place yourself as the bridge out of their situation through a handful of key statements and questions. And I even have a golden statement in the script where if somebody's sort of on the fence about working with you, you can whip it out of your back pocket and it works 80-90% of the time to get them fully convinced that you are the right choice for them. So even without the script though, just getting people on a 15-minute test session, asking them, hey, what's your problem? How can I help you? And just being genuine. And then saying, yeah, I think you're a good fit. I think I could really help you. Would you mind if and you got to ask, would you mind if I worked with you over coaching? And if they say yes, sweet, you're in, you go, right? So now let's talk a bit more psychological here. Why do people buy information? Why do people buy courses? Why do people invest in my coaching? As an 18-year-old high school dropout, why are people paying me 4 figures a month for my advice on their business when I don't have a degree? I barely made it through high school. I was homeschooled. I dropped out of homeschool. So as horrible as it is, you see some kids saying they dropped out of like public high school. I was homeschooled and I didn't even do that. So that's how uneducated I am. Yet at the same time, I'm able to psychologically get myself behind people's heads and convince them that I am the perfect out for their problem. And I am. It's not a lie. It's not manipulation. It's truth. I know how to sell a service. So why do people buy information? What do I know about this? Well, ultimately, they're buying results. And you must understand this. So this is actually a screenshot from my Impact Income program. I apologize if my video is in the way of the text there. I just realized it might be, but I'm going to read it anyway for you. So it says, people buy results. And this is just a slide from I think there's a module in my course called Launching Your Coaching Business. And it's an hour and a half long on the entirety of how I manage my coaching business. This is the global economy ticks on people waking up each morning and seeking a version of themselves that they can't achieve alone. When buying clothes, tech, vacations, cars, even when investing in business services like marketing or coaching, it's all people searching for their desired self. You must understand this. When you're selling coaching, people will want to work with you not because you are you, but because of what you can do for them. You're not selling coaching, you're selling results. Keep that in mind. The dealer that sold me my BMW, right, because I recently got a BMW because I love BMWs. I think they're great cars. He didn't sell me a car. He sold me the emotions that I'm going to feel while I drive it. He sold me the feeling of being young and successful. He sold me the feeling that I'll get pulling up to my friend's house in that car while the rest of my friends who are in college and in debt are, driving old Hondas, right? As egotistical as that may sound, it's a great feeling knowing that I'm on a great path and that car it fuels that, right? So that's what I was being sold. So on our landing pages, where we sell coaching, we share the results others have had. We don't share our hours. We don't share the software we use for the sessions or any other irrelevant details. It's all about the results. So when you're selling anything, keep in mind, like Apple, on its commercials, I'm using a Mac right now. On its commercials, it doesn't show the tech specs behind its products. It doesn't show, the camera megapixel. Sometimes it does. It doesn't show the screen resolution. It doesn't show, typically all it does is make you feel. It associates their product with maybe a political movement of some kind, or maybe not really, but with an emotion of some kind. Like it makes you feel like you want to get up and dance. It's like an emotional thing, and that's why Apple far outsells Android, is because Android focuses on the tech specs. Most companies actually focus on the tech specs. They don't focus on the emotional result that somebody gets by buying their product. Because guaranteed there are laptops out there that are far more powerful, far more reliable, and far easier to use than this Mac that I use right now, but I have it because I associate it with business success because of their branding, right? So this goes for any information sales, including the course we will make later in this program. If you were in the program, I'm going to show you how to make a course, how to build a webinar, how to sell courses at scale, all of that important stuff. We don't promote the information, we promote the results. Results are attached to emotional triggers in people's brains, whereas information isn't. People buy off emotion, then they rationalize the purchase with logic. You must understand this. With the BMW, the logic I used was if I buy that car, I can leverage it for my brand and maybe show people that I know what I'm talking about by giving them a physical piece of proof that I'm making money, right? Or maybe it will give me, it'll be able to help me. Like literally one of the thoughts that I had was, like, I have a sibling who really likes cars. I thought I could get closer to that sibling by buying that car. Not that I'm not close with them, but I could treat them to rides in it, right? And so I had an emotional thought of I want the car, then I justified it with logic. And that's how everybody buys any information. That's how actually everybody buys anything ever, period. Not just information sales. So you can just take this one, you could take this one piece of information and go make a lot of money. But I'm going to stick to the topic of information sales. So here's all it takes to teach. So you got to be 1 or 2 steps ahead of every single student, which is not hard to do. Just read a page ahead, and I'll talk to you about a story real quick where a professor actually read 1 page ahead, right? Having the trust from all students that you're providing applicable wisdom. You have to have the trust of every single student, and you gain trust by showing results, like we said, right? Next is having authority based on personal experience. So do you have the experience that is necessary for me to be able to trust you, right? If you were my coach, I would ask you, what do you know and what do your students know because of you, and what have they done because of you? Those are the 2 questions, right? And so in order to drive results for your students, you have to be 1 or 2 steps ahead of them. That's it. That's all it takes to teach. Just 1 or 2 steps. You don't have to be a master. You don't have to understand the universe and all of its secrets. You don't have to be, like a monk in order to teach somebody something. You just have to know what they need to know. That's it. Just know what you know they need to know and then sell that knowledge. That is coaching. That is information product sales. So this is a true story of the fake college professor. This is incredible. So this is in a book that I read called, I'm forgetting the name of the book, but essentially it was a young kid. He was about my age, 18 or 19 years old, and he actually dropped out of high school and I think he just traveled the world, and he would always like sneak his way on the planes and on the trains, and he just traveled the world and experienced life. He was a bit of a con man, right? And it's a very sad lifestyle, but it's very, very cool. Just the psychology behind all of it. He ended up faking his way onto a college campus and getting paid a full yearly salary that a professor would get paid. And even though he dropped out of high school, even though he dropped out of everything, like he didn't have any formal education at all, he ended up being a college professor. He faked his way onto campus, and here's how. He simply asked one of the college professors, he said, hey, what are the books that you guys are teaching in this class, in this upcoming class over here? And then he told him, he just said, it's this book, this book, this book, this book, this book, right? And he's like, okay, I'm going to go get those books. He had a little money, bought the books, read them, didn't learn a thing from them, but learned where certain classes start and end in each book. So he knew that first class is this section of the book. So he memorized that section of the book, and then he would teach in the class that section of the book because he read it last night, right? So he would continue to read one page ahead of his students until the end of the semester, and he was paid full. He was paid in full. Every dollar that a normal college professor would earn, he earned as well. And not only that, but his students still learned. His students saw results, right? So he was simply a bridge to get the knowledge from way out here somewhere in the universe or whatever, like out in the middle of nowhere, and he sort of sucked it into his head and just spewed it out to his students so that they can take it and learn it, and he frankly forgot it the next day. But it doesn't matter, and I'm not telling you to do that. I'm not saying that the things that I teach I forget the next day. I'm trying to use this as proof that you only have to be one step ahead of the people that you're teaching. You don't have to know everything, right? So last thing I want to help you understand, solve a 4-figure problem and you can charge 4 figures. So a lot of people think that coaching itself, the word coaching, to have a coach is worth 4 figures. Now that they've seen this training, they think a coach is worth 4 figures. You are wrong. It is not worth 4 figures. The result that I drive for people is worth 4 figures. You see what I'm saying? So when I help people build their personal brand, I drive tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales for the people that I work with. And I hope to get to a point soon where I'm driving millions in sales for the people that I work with, right? That's what I want to do. And that problem is worth 4 figures. And I solve the problem through coaching. So it's not so much that I'm selling coaching, it's that I see a result and I see that coaching could help drive that result. You see what I'm saying? So if you are in, let's say, the fishing niche, you cannot, well, you probably can. I don't know enough about the fishing niche. I doubt you can book a 4-figure coaching student in the fishing niche, right? I don't think there are any 4-figure information products in the fishing niche. Maybe there are, maybe I'm dissing it, maybe it's not, maybe it's crude of me to say that. But let's say you try to sell a 4-figure coaching service in the changing a light bulb niche. Nobody needs that information, everybody knows how to do it, and you're not going to make any money. What you have to do is identify a problem and figure out how you can solve it with coaching, and then sell coaching. It's not just coaching itself that drives revenue, it's solving problems for people that drives revenue, right? And so if you solve a 4-figure problem, you can charge 4 figures. Solve a 5-figure problem, you can charge 5 figures. Solve a 6-figure problem, you can charge 6, right? And that's still with coaching. As long as you're solving a problem on that level, you can charge that amount. I mean, I've worked with buddies of mine who now they get flown out to events and they charge $20,000-$30,000 for 3 hours of their time teaching them basic stuff. But it's not a matter of how advanced the stuff is. It's a matter of, does it solve a problem for them that is worth $20,000-$30,000? Yes or no? If yes, then he gets paid that amount, and it's simple, right? So now I want to talk to you about the bamboo method. You must understand the bamboo method if you're building your personal brand. So understand that a personal brand is not something that grows quickly. It's not something that grows overnight. It's something where you sort of lay the seeds for growth and it slowly begins to manifest over time. Like for me, every piece of content that I'll put out onto this YouTube channel is slowly beginning to manifest and begin to like build this foundation for something big to happen later. So let's look at how bamboo grows, right? It sits in the ground for 3 to 4 years, and then all of a sudden, when the time is right, it shoots up and grows almost 80 feet in like 3 days, right? Now, these numbers are not correct. I don't know the numbers properly off the top of my head, but that's how bamboo grows, right? It doesn't grow slowly, steadily over time. It does this slow building, getting its foundation right, and almost like with personal branding, you slowly put out content, you build your offers, you grow your expertise in your niche, and then one day, all of a sudden, you've got people contacting you for giant deals, and now all of a sudden you have a webinar funnel built and you just right, or you have like a course all of a sudden and that shoots you up, or you figure out a way to monetize your brand that nobody else is and that shoots you up. So personal branding is not about trying to go a little bit at a time. And though, yes, you do want to go a little bit at a time, what you'll notice is that you'll go like this, and then one day you'll just kind of shoot up, right? It's a compounding thing. And so that's the bamboo method. You must understand that. So the bamboo method is slowly and steadily building your foundations. It's not being worried about short-term gain. It's thinking long-term, and it's one day shooting up and passing up all competition. It's a compound growth. It's a slow, steady, and then all of a sudden it shoots up. It's not a this, right? It's a this, and it just shoots up, and all of a sudden you're up here, and you keep going up too, right? So that's the bamboo method. That's the bamboo mindset. So if as a personal brand you put out valuable content and solve a valuable issue, booking coaching students will be easy, but it will take time. It will take lots and lots and lots of time. And frankly, if you don't know what you're doing, it will take years of your life. You'll spend tons of money, and you'll probably make nothing back. So now you have two options. You can do all this yourself, right? So I've taught you a lot in this short YouTube video. And frankly, there's you're probably taking a lot of notes. There's probably a lot in your head now. You probably realize how easy it is to have a functioning coaching business. So you could do it all yourself. And frankly, I'm sure you could figure it out, but you could try to book a student over the phone yourself, try to make good content yourself, try to build an audience yourself, and waste a good 2 to 5 years of your life getting really honestly nowhere, because learning this stuff yourself, you can be a scientist and you can learn this stuff, but it just takes so much time. And just from my experience, having been in this industry for quite a while now, I know the pitfalls that people fall into, right? So you can do that, or you can follow a proven step-by-step process that I personally utilize to gain traction within my personal brand and monetize it highly, incredibly highly. So I assume, there's two options. Out of the two, you probably want to go with the second option. Look, you want a streamlined process. You don't want to waste your time. You don't want to waste your money. You want to have this literally handed to you in a box. So that's where my program, Impact Income, comes in. I just want to tell you some things about Impact Income. Right now, it has over 12 hours of content. You'll learn how to book your first coaching student. You'll learn how to sell courses online. And there's an entire 4-hour section at the front that teaches you mindset, teaches you proper worldview mindset training. And people have told me that this section alone is worth the price of admission. That's 4 hours completely dedicated to simply changing the way that you view the world, making you more able to make money, making you more able to make impact, helping you understand economics, helping you understand psychology of sales, all these important things for an entire 4 hours. That's crazy alone. But look, I want to actually show you some of the content that's in the course right now. So you can see, we have introduction, we have creating metanoia, which is the mindset section, we have the laying the foundation section, we have the reach drives revenue, and we have information monetization, which is launching your coaching business. And this course has so much more to be added to it. Look, this course, in my opinion, a lot of people say it can be done here now, but in my opinion, it has so much more to be added. And I think there's so much more I can do with this Impact Income program, because it doesn't even feel half done to me. It feels like it needs to have at least 20 hours of content. There's so much more I can add in this thing. So many more interviews with multiple six-figure earners that I want to have in the course. So many people that I want to have in here that can teach you the tactics that they're using to grow their brand. And look, my goal is that you can invest in this program and streamline the process of you going from making very little money online to now using a personal brand to drive inbound leads, not just for your coaching, but for any business you run. You could run a social media marketing agency, right? Or you could run, let's say, I've even seen people use this for their physical locations. Like some people run music centers, right? Like in California, and they make YouTube videos teaching people music, and then it naturally just drives inbound leads for their company because people find them on YouTube, and then they end up being the most profitable music center in all of California. And I could tell you exactly who these people are right now. It exists. This happens all the time. And so I want to teach you how to structure content that way so that it can drive inbound leads. And coaching is only one of many, many, many ways to monetize a functioning, working personal brand. And that's what I taught you in this short video, is how to make money with coaching. But there's so many ways to do it that I would almost be doing you a disservice to tell if I told you that that's the only way. Besides coaching, you have course sales. You have any service you can provide, consulting, marketing. Like for me, I get marketing agency clients from my personal brand, right? I have all kinds of things that drive inbound because of my personal brand. So you could be doing anything. Let's say you are a musician who sells, I have actually got a friend of mine. He is the owner of a large pedal company, guitar pedals, and he makes YouTube videos on how to play guitar, how to use his pedals, and that drives a ton of sales for his business, right? So building your personal brand is the smartest move you can make in 2018. If you're not building your personal brand, you're falling behind. And actually, in my honest opinion, it's going to be more valuable to have a personal brand than it will be to have a college degree or a high school diploma, even about 10, maybe even just 5 years from now. It's going to be the most important factor in getting you to success, and to understand the psychology behind building a personal brand, the actual digital marketing tactics, how to create content, how to sell on the back end, how to cultivate a relationship with your audience is going to be so key for you right now that every single dime that you're going to spend on this program is going to be completely worth it. So you can go the route, of going with a traditional business degree where, you spend some freaking $50,000-$60,000 and you go totally in debt on that and you're not even guaranteed to make that money back. Or you can go in the description right now and go check the sales page for my Impact Income course and buy it for what is pretty much chump change compared to a college degree, and start driving leads for your coaching business, for your course sale business, and start driving leads for really any business you'll ever set up ever. On the planet, you can have any business you want, and if you know how to create content that appeals to your niche, which I teach you how to do in this course, and I teach you how to even find a niche. If you don't even know what you want to do, you just know you want to have a personal brand, I teach you how to even find a niche and become an expert in really whatever niche you want. And so, those are your options. You got a college degree, you can do this. This really, to me, is so much more powerful than anything else out there on the market right now, and it's going to completely, totally change your life. So thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this training. You can honestly just take the information that I've given you for free without the course, and you can go and try and book coaching students, and I'm sure somebody can get out there and do it. But if you want the streamlined process and you want everything handed to you from A to Z in insane detail, you just invest in my Impact Income program, and maybe even invest in coaching with me. I'll happily take you if you already have an established brand and move it forward as well. If you'd like to get in contact with my agency, I have all of that available to you. Honestly, a great way to get to me is Instagram DM if you want to work with me. So thanks again, you guys. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will set up a website soon so you don't have to contact me over Instagram DM, and I'll see you in the next one.